What up, everybody? Welcome to the Twin Wrestle Pod. As you can see, there is no other twin with me. There's my other guy, my other friend, my other ace, CK, the Don. We gonna call you the Don. That's just CK. He was here for the what was it? Evolution. Was it Evolution? I can't remember. It might have been Evolution.
It might have been Evolution.
But I'm getting back into the groove when it comes to dropping videos for this channel. It was drawn all of December. Sickness had me fucked up the entire month. I dropped that John Cena vid, and that was really it. Then I just came back last week with the Powerhouse Hobbs video, who is officially signed with WWE, by the way. And his name will be Royce Keys. And I want to make a video about that too sometime this week for everybody out there going crazy. Or why the fuck is he named Royce Keys? If you know why his name, why the first name he got is Royce, is because his son's name is Royce, so that's why he going to be Royce as well. Keys, I don't know where that comes from. I'm pretty sure that plays a specific part from where he's from, his childhood maybe. So everybody freaking out about the name. Don't freak out. Who gives a shit? Once he gets to NXT, where I think he will be, and he runs through that roster and become champ, all this shit will be cool. So,
I mean, you better hope Sean books him like that.
Man, come on. You ain't bringing Powerhouse there not to be a fucking wrecking ball in that fucking division. Come on. Let's keep it a buck. He gonna use him way better than Tony Khan did, with all due respect.
Honestly, if he gets there, him, and Lesnar for sure need to have a match.
Nah, I mean for sure, but that's down the line. That's down the line. We gonna address Lesnar in this prediction. We gonna let's take the Lesnar here. Let's take him over and slide him here. We gonna address him later on. But shout out to Powerhouse Royce Keys for signing with WWE, man. I think he in the right spot where he need to be, and the spot that don't use him to his capabilities of where he should have been maybe 2 years ago. So
is Wardlow still in AEW?
Yeah, he hurt. So, Royal Rumble 2026 is in Riyadh season. Overseas in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, we have 4 matches, if I'm not mistaken. Right? 2 Royal Rumbles, AJ versus Gunther, and Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Now, we know this crowd is going to be outrageous. I watched the kickoff show earlier this morning about 10:30. Pretty rocking crowd. They was rocking for Bayley. They was rocking for Lyra Valkyria a little bit. Rocking for Liv Morgan. And rocking for Jey Uso. Now, let's kick this thing off with the women's Royal Rumble matchup. Now, we haven't had that many women who declared, okay, for this matchup. We had Rhea, Io, all of Judgment Day, Bayley and Lyra, that I've seen declare. I haven't really been able to watch any wrestling for the past 3, 4, 5 weeks. Just getting off of work, your brother be tired, bro. And this week just wasn't a week for me, man. I get off work late, car trouble, and then I'm just through when I get home. But major players, Jordan Grace, she's going to be in there. I've seen the graphic. I know she's going to be in there. Julia for sure should be in there. Charlotte, Alexa, all the main players, Nia, Lash, will all be in there. One person or maybe 2 people we know who won't probably be in there. Michin has already stated she won't be in there. She suffered an injury during a holiday tour sometime early last month. B-Fab might be in there, but she also suffered an injury during that holiday tour, concussion. We haven't seen her. So we're going to see a lot of surprises here in this matchup. Definitely going to see a lot of women from NXT. I would be shocked if Tatum Paxley isn't there. I'm a bit Tatum Paxley fan. I think she has a great character down in NXT, so I would be happy to see her. Miss Parker, obviously. Jada Parker will be in there, I think, in my book. JC Jane. Everybody who have been rumored to come up should show their face in the Rumble. I wouldn't be surprised if Blake Monroe isn't in there. She should be in there for sure. So, let's say this, okay? The same thing I said about the last year's Rumble and for future Rumbles going forward. WWE is in a position where they don't have to rely on so many legends coming back from the past and stealing spots. Please, let's not have people stealing spots in this Rumble match. And the same for the man. I'm gonna get to them. Don't worry about that. We're gonna get to that. Okay? Let's save some of these spots with people who actually need them to showcase younger talent and the current talent. Please, for God fucking sake. Excuse my French. Okay. So, my prediction. Who I think will win the Women's Royal Rumble. So it's a lot of ways you can go here, okay? It's probably a lot, maybe 4, maybe 3, 4 realistic women who I think win it. I'll get to my number one choice. That's the person I'm going to choose. Short list for Jordynne Grace. But I don't think she's going to win it. But only reason I say her is because they've been having a program with her and Jade going back and forth since Jordynne got caught up to the main roster. And I think Jordynne Grace will be in there maybe to win. Second, Charlotte Flair. Just because she's Charlotte Flair. And if my number one choice doesn't end up being there, Charlotte Flair can possibly be the backup because that's a big money match at WrestleMania. And I told him this a long time ago when Jade got to the main roster. And what I think Jade should do to Charlotte, for the shot factor. But realistically, we know that won't happen. Third, maybe some Alexa Bliss action. Maybe. I'll throw her in there because overall, the fans reacting to her from last year, just from last year to now, her steam hasn't decreased. Like, it increased. Like, everybody loves Alexa Bliss. So I'll throw her in there. Another one who's been killing it, right? She killed it all last year. Was the Woman of the Year, probably the year prior to that. I'm going to throw Liv Morgan in there. Just because she's top tier status. He was a Liv Morgan stan right here. I was never a Liv Morgan stan. I thought she was great, but I didn't ever think she'd reach this level. She proved me wrong, and she catapulted to the level. So she's one of the better things to happen in the women's division. So I'll throw her in there. But last but not least, my number one choice. We haven't seen her all year outside of the summer. And I think that's for a reason. Okay? Number one pick to win a Women's Royal Rumble. I'm going to go with the EST of WWE. Bianca Belair to make her return. Win the Rumble tomorrow. Get the shot at WrestleMania. And obviously do the story with her and Jade that we never got this past year. Because Bianca got hurt. Now Jade is a heel. Bianca comes in there as the baby face. Hopefully they don't boo her. They shouldn't boo her. They booed her last year for no damn reason, just because they're fickle fans, like Daniel Bryan always said they were. They're fickle. But I'm going to go Bianca Belair for the win. She challenges Jade for the WWE Women's Championship at WrestleMania. Do she beat Jade? We don't know. I'll leave it there. But I'll let you go ahead and do your prediction. Who you got?
All right. First and foremost, thank you, DJ, for allowing me to be here with you to do these Royal Rumble predictions.
You are welcome, sir. You are welcome, sir.
Yeah, like you said, going back to Liv Morgan, I was always a Liv Morgan fan, and I'm glad she is where she is. She definitely deserves to be at the top of the women's division. So I do love that. So going back, you had some good picks, and I do agree with some of those picks. I kind of really feel like right now, like, yeah, whoever wins should go after Jade, because I feel like right now Stephanie's she's in a storyline really with Raquel. So there really hasn't really been like many people, at least over on Raw, that kind of make it. There hasn't been many women that make it seem like they want to go after the women's world champion, really, other than Raquel and Liv. So I do kind of feel like, yeah, whoever.
You know why that is, though?
Why?
Do you know why that is? I'm asking you. Do you know? And
No, I do know. I do know. I do not know
okay, I'm gonna give you my reason of why no one has gone after Stephanie Verker. May I jump in for a minute?
Let me finish
Go
my
ahead.
first.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I'll give you my reason. Go ahead.
Um, I I I I do feel like yeah, this year it should focus on Jade. Jade, I don't think she has not defended her title, and I believe Tiffany Stratton is. I believe she is injured if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but my picks were Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and Bianca Belair, just because, like I said, it should focus more on Jade this year for Mania. The reason why I did pick Rhea is because both Rhea and Jade both have that strength factor, and I do think that would be a good WrestleMania match. Charlotte Flair because that's the dream match, that's the money match everybody's been saying they've been wanting to see even when Jade was in AEW. And then you do have Bianca Belair because that story is there, that history is there. And so yeah, I do agree with DJ that I do think Bianca Belair is the favorite to win the Women's Royal Rumble. Now, in terms of surprise entrants, not only do I think we will see some NXT, I think we will see some women from TNA, but I do think we will see, and this might be a shock. I don't know if people have seen it on Instagram, but I do think we might see Saraya or Paige probably make a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble. I know on Instagram, I think it was a couple days ago or last week, there was video of her in the ring practicing. I mean, she wasn't wearing ring gear. I think she was wearing just like some regular shoes and the saggy pants that she always wear. So I don't know. Maybe she could make a return as a surprise entrant. I mean, I think it would definitely be cool to see Paige back in the WWE, but that's just who I'm gonna say as a surprise entrant. I'm gonna say Saraya, Paige, and some women over from TNA. So, but my pick to win the Rumble is definitely gonna be Bianca because, like I said, I think the history between Bianca and Jade, it's there. The story is there. If I had to pick a backup, I think I would have to say Charlotte because again, that's a money match, but I don't think Jade is really ready to face someone of Charlotte's caliber, especially since she really hasn't defended the title yet. So I would maybe try to save that for maybe SummerSlam, or maybe if they give her a year-long title run, maybe next year at Mania, but we have to see what happens. But my pick is going to be Bianca.
Okay. All right. Well, the reason ain't nobody gone after the world champ Stephanie Verker. One, because of the injury, right? Okay, cool. Two, because they saving a certain someone for her. And if we get that match at this year's WrestleMania, and that certain someone, I mean, they teased it earlier this past year, right? And that certain someone is everyone is familiar with her, right? We've seen her a lot. Former champ. She was in the Mid-Slow last year, but now she's occupied with a tag team championship. And that one person is none other than Rhea Ripley. Now, we all know that's a WrestleMania match, Stephanie Verker versus Rhea Ripley. And at WrestleMania, they don't really care about doing heel versus babyface as much. They always try to put the best match out there, right? So, it wouldn't be out of realm possibilities if Rhea loses at the Rumble, she wins the Chamber, and goes on to face Stephanie for the championship. Yes, Stephanie's in a program with Bitch Sassy Raquel Rodriguez. Shout out to her for sure. Bitch Sassy for sure. But she's going to lose the Rumble. She will lose the street fight. And they're probably going to do a story with them in the Judgment Day. So that's why I don't see them really. I don't see Liv winning. I know that it's rumored. It's rumored that she's one of the favorites. But she is really one of the favorites. But I just don't see her in there unless they make it a triple threat. So I think we get Rhea and probably Stephanie at Mania. I don't see them holding them tag team straps that long. But doing that just leaves out Io. That's the only problem for me. Unless we get Io versus Oscar at Mania, that's my confliction with that.
Which I do think that would be a good match to make. Io versus Asuka. I do think that would be a good match to make.
We'll see. We'll see. But ain't you said you brought up TNA? They ain't really, because I've been watching TNA. There ain't really that many TNA knockouts in the division that me personally, I will waste the Royal Rumble slot on. I mean, I guess you can do Atlanta Black, but she only been there for a cup of tea. The only one that would make sense is Tessa Blanchard because she has that history with most of the women in WWE, specifically Charlotte Flair. The Four Horsemen link, literally. That'd be like the only person that's credible enough to be in that Royal Rumble mix from TNA, in my opinion.
You wouldn't want to do Indy Hartwell or Ash by Elegance as a surprise entrance?
No, I'm not. I'm not wasting no pick on either one of them. Ain't happening. That's me personally. No disrespect to them, but no. I'd rather showcase some of that NXT talent than waste a pick on them personally. So we'll see. But I'm taking Bianca Belair for the women's Royal Rumble matchup. All right, man. Yeah. Next matchup we're going to talk about AJ Styles putting his career on the line against the career killer, Gunther. Now, going back to Saturday night's main event, John Cena versus Gunther. I personally wanted John Cena to win. I stated that in my predictions. I wanted him to win just so you can get that send-off like Sting had at AEW Revolution when Sting retired. John Cena deserved that much, right? But being the guy that John Cena is, we all knew he was going to probably do business like the traditional way, looking up at the lights, or in his reference, tapping out. But I just personally think you needed that story for him to win it. You know what I mean? Gunther didn't need to tap out John. He didn't need that. But that's the result that we got. And I find it very hard to believe that they just going to make AJ lose this early on. I just find that hard to believe. I personally, as a fan, don't want that because John Cena just retired last month, bro. You can't have John Cena and AJ retire back to back like that. You just can't. But enough things change now. So I wouldn't be surprised if AJ do lose this match. I really wouldn't. But I'm taking AJ to win this matchup. He had the banger with Nakamura at Saturday night's main event. A lot winning that matchup. If you know the history. 10 years to, not the day, but 10 years. They had that match at Wrestle Kingdom. One of the best matches, probably their best match they ever had. And then this match at Saturday night's main event was awesome as well. And it's a lot of, with the booking of AJ right now, everything is happening very quick to make me think like, yeah, he calling it a career because this past Monday he had a world championship. I didn't expect him to have a world championship matchup on Raw against CM Punk. And motherfucker was just talking about him going up against CM Punk. Like, we need that match. And we got it Monday, and not a clean finish. But earlier today on SmackDown, AJ said after he tried to put everybody at ease and told them, don't worry about the Royal Rumble. Because after the Royal Rumble, we're going to have that phenomenal farewell tour. I'm one for it. I want that. Because there's a lot of people AJ still got to mix it up with personally. It's a lot of players out there. So I'm taking AJ, but it'll be by disqualification. I don't think it's going to be a clean finish. Unless you want to go the Ric Flair route where every match is career threatening for AJ. If you want to go that route, you can. But I think you save face with both guys by having Gunther get disqualified, during the Rumble later on, and then AJ toss him out in the Rumble. Then you do something again with these two at WrestleMania or something. So I'm taking AJ for the win, by DQ.
Um, you know, my pick is gonna be AJ because there is no way you have him retire outside of the US and Saudi Arabia. I just don't foresee that happening, and I just don't think that's something that you do. I mean, you're already bringing WrestleMania to Saudi Arabia next year, which a lot of people still probably have an issue with. So I think retiring AJ in Saudi Arabia, I don't think that would be a good idea as well. Now I do believe his contract is supposed to be up in February at some point, but there's no way WWE couldn't talk to AJ about figuring out a contract till the end of the year. You got WWE made so many mistakes with John Cena's retirement tour. I would hope they would have AJ win and they would do better with AJ's retirement tour than what they did with Cena. I mean, yeah, it was the first time that they did a retirement tour with Cena, and so hopefully they learned from it. AJ still has so many opponents that he still needs to get into the ring with. And I mean, even if we did get even if we did get an AJ Styles versus CM Punk clean match at Mania or just sometime during the year than what was on Monday Night Raw, hell, that would be a hell of a lot better. And honestly, personally, if AJ was in the Rumble, I would straight up say, hey, book him to win the Royal Rumble. This is his last year. Just have that be added on to his book of accolades and achievements and accomplishments. This man has achieved so much. I just don't foresee him going out and losing in a retirement match in Saudi Arabia outside the US. I just don't foresee that happening. You know, you didn't have Cena retire in Boston. You had him retire in Washington, D.C. I don't know whose idea that was, but I think for AJ, the least you could do is if you're going to retire him in the U.S. and just retire him in his home state of Georgia. That's I think the best way for AJ to go out. But I don't know, man. And it's like DJ said before we started recording. Nobody expected Jey Uso to win the Royal Rumble last year. So AJ losing in Saudi Arabia and retiring, I just God, that I don't want to say that would be a middle finger to the fans, but man, that would just be another bad booking decision. And I mean, honestly, I hope that doesn't happen. He still has plenty of fight left in him. I would love to see him have one more championship run, but with how everything's looking right now, I don't think it's possible. I mean, it is possible, but it's like DJ said, everything's being rushed so fast. So hopefully that's not a sign of yeah, we're gonna call it in February. But I truly, honestly hope that is not how they end this man's career overseas. But I am going to pick the phenomenal AJ Styles to win this match and let him have another year, just one final year of just putting on great classic matches with some of the top fucking names. That's all. That's all we can ask for. But my pick is gonna be AJ Styles.
Look, man, at the end of the day, no matter what criticism people might have for whatever the finish may be, it's all about what AJ Styles wants. Just like at Saturday Night Main Event, it was all about what John Cena wants. So we can fantasy book all we want. It's all about what that specific individual wants. So if AJ want to call it a quits, he can't figure. I mean, you know, he feel like he can't deliver the AJ Styles everybody is used to seeing. That's That's his choice. He earned that.
Yeah, he has earned that. And going back to John Cena, I know Cena said like, you know, he doesn't like choose what he wants to do. He gets told what to do. But I feel like for his final match, I'm sure Cena had some say in if he wanted to win or lose that match. I don't think Triple H would just say, "Oh, hey, this is what's gonna happen." I feel like Cena probably decided, like, yeah, I wanna lose. I'm sure Cena had some say in his final match. I don't think it was just all Triple H's booking. Like I know Triple H gets a lot of the heat for a lot of this shit, but I know he took a lot of criticism for Cena's loss, but I don't think you can put all the blame on Triple H. I'm sure Cena had some say in that match as well. So you can't say it's 100% on Triple H. I mean, even though he can, obviously overturn and he makes the final decision, but we all know what Cena's like. He's all for the business, he's all looking for the future. So I'm sure Cena had some say in his final match whether he wants to win or lose, or at least I believe he did, because Cena definitely has earned that right to say like what he wants to do in his matches or his final match. So I don't think Triple H should be taking all the blame for Cena's loss at Saturday night's main event. I'm sure Cena had a say in that shit too. So
All right. Well, next up, man, the WWE Championship match. The Stardust Psychopath, the Stardust Terminator, whatever you want to call him. The WWE Champion, rightfully deserved, rightfully earned. Drew McIntyre defending his WWE Championship against the underdog from the underground, Sami Zayn. Now, WWE has made it a point to tell you, the audience, that Drew McIntyre has beaten Sami Zayn 11 times. And Sami Zayn has beaten Drew McIntyre 0 times. Now, when they typically do that, they're ushering up something, some kind of fucking crazy finish or whatever the case may be. I think this might be a similar situation. And we heard the reports going back to when Drew won the championship and the day the SmackDown before Starline, that Cody and Drew, going all the way back to WrestlePalooza, Cody and Drew wanted the championship to be held by Drew for Cody to be the chaser. Now, since that happened overseas, and now the plan is for Drew McIntyre to officially walk into WrestleMania as the WWE champion. This one is a tricky match, man. I don't think it's as cut and dry as everybody think it is. Okay? WWE might do some funky shit in this matchup. And I can see it going one of two ways, maybe three. Okay? Number one, Drew retains, for sure. Okay? Number two, Drew retains by someone coming out there and costing Sami Zayn the match, leading to Sami Zayn having a match at WrestleMania with that so-called person. Who that person would be, we do not know. Okay? Number three, Sami Zayn actually pulls out the fucking win and wins the WWE Championship and gets his moment and finally getting that illustrious victory over Drew McIntyre that everybody, including the commentators, including the IWC, has said. 11-0. Now, what a win that would be for Sami Zayn to win that championship off of Drew McIntyre, his very first time beating him. And this can lead into him going into the chamber, defending that championship, and outright losing that motherfucking championship that he just won at the Rumble. To who? Drew McIntyre yet again. And Drew McIntyre walking into Mania. Have their ultimate goal of them having him walk into the Mania. Then maybe you can usher this into a fatal 4-way with Cody, Jacob, Drew, and Sami. Now that's a direction I think WWE might consider. Because they known for doing funky shit, so we don't know. So with all that being said, I'm going to go with option number 2. I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre retaining, but someone costing Sami Zayn the championship matchup. Who that would be, I have no clue. I just don't see WWE doing a Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania, if not for the WWE Championship. I just don't see it. But there's just a lot of factors in here that's playing in my mind right now. The fact that it's in Riyadh, Sammy's over there. The last time they was there was in, Night of Champions, when he fought Karrion Kross. He was over like Rover. And it's the Royal Rumble season. So WWE like to shock a lot of fucking people at this event. So I will not be surprised if Sammy do win this championship and go on to the chamber to carry that fucking title. I will not. But with WrestleMania being in Riyadh next year, it's all tailor-made for Sammy to win a championship there. I personally don't see it, but it may be. It's like 50-50 in my mind. But I'm going to go ahead and take Drew with help from somebody from the outside.
Okay. I think I think Drew retains. I just kind of feel like everything that because it's like the same thing with LA Knight. It's just like you've put Drew in position to win the championship so many times. I think him losing it on his first title defense, I think that kind of makes him look, I don't want to say it makes him look weak. It makes him, what's the word? Mm, It makes it seem like he's maybe someone that they can't trust as a champion. I don't know. There's a word for it, but I can't think of it. But I don't know. I've never really like what Drew beat Lesnar at Mania in what 2020 when there was no fans around, so not a lot of people really not a lot of people really counted that. But it's just like for years, Drew was chasing Roman's family to get back at him for screwing him out of the title over and over again. Then he was injured. Then he had a rivalry with Seth, won the title. Punk cost him the world title. Then Drew was back to chasing. It's just for what 6 years, Drew has just been chasing a world title, and I just kind of feel like you put it on him just to take it off of him that quickly. I just man that and I get for storyline purposes you want to do that, but gosh, man, it's just kind of like how much longer do you really want this guy chasing a title? Just put it. Everybody's been wanting him to win the title for so long, so you put it on him just to lose in his first title defense. I don't know. That just kind of seems like that would just kind of give me like a not good feeling as like it's like the trust not there. Like, why do you guys keep doing this to Drew? It's like the same thing with LA Knight, where it's like you keep putting him in these situations where he's getting so close, and then you just pull the rug from underneath him. Drew. It is Drew's time to be the champion. So I think just let the man retain it. Let the man walk into WrestleMania with it. Let the man leave WrestleMania with it. Give him a fucking championship run that people can remember. I mean, yeah, I do have some thoughts myself about what could happen at WrestleMania going into that match, but I kind of want to save that for the men's Royal Rumble, which I know we're going to be talking about next. But I think Drew retains. I mean, will there be some shenanigans? Probably. But if not, then yeah, I'm picking Drew to retain. That's it for me, really.
I mean, we on the same page. I mean, I just want to put it past WWE to have their whiteboard over here of possibilities of where we're going to go. So, we'll see. All right, next up, we have the main event. The men's Royal Rumble matchup. A lot of people have declared Brock Lesnar, we had declared on the Pat McAfee show. Roman Reigns.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
I don't understand why all these people have to declare for the Royal Rumble when we already know they're gonna be in it. I've never understood why we're still doing that when we already know the top stars are already gonna be in it. Like, what sense does it make to go out there and say, "Oh yeah, I'm declaring for the Rumble"? We already know you're gonna fucking be in it. Like, why even declare for it?
I mean, that's tradition, though. That's tradition. See. Hold on now. See. Now you don't open the floodgates for me to go on in there for a minute. Wait a minute. It's too many things in wrestling nowadays that break tradition. I'm more along the lines of the kayfabe shit. Okay, I like to keep kayfabe a lot. Me personally, I don't like the curtain pulled back that much at all. Me personally, that's just how I grew up watching wrestling. So don't get
there's plenty of people out there.
Yeah, just don't get rid of certain things. You just don't touch. Don't get rid of certain concepts. Keep the tradition going. All right. So to declare is a tradition that's been going on since the beginning of the Royal Rumble, since probably 1991, 92, 93, somewhere in there. But we had Brock Lesnar declare on the Pat McAfee show. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief. Oh yes, the tribal chief. That guy. He declared by a video graphic. Now that's unique. I've never seen that. Okay. We had the whole Vision. They declared. Cody Rhodes was the first one to declare. So I'm pretty sure Trick Williams will be in there. Carmelo Hayes will be in there. Dragon. This is where we don't need. I don't think they need no surprises nowhere outside of the big omission that everybody thinks is going to happen or he might happen. I don't know. We'll get to that. But they don't need no surprises, really. Their roster is stacked from top to bottom. Only surprises I can see, I don't even count them as surprises. Maybe Ricky Saints, All Ego, Ethan Page. Like, you need some NXT presence in this Rumble. TNA, I would throw Mike Santana in there because my boy, he earned it. He been working his ass off since he left AEW. I'll throw Mike Santana in there. But I'm looking forward to this man's Rumble just because it's stacked. And based off last year's Royal Rumble, they had a lot of story built in that Rumble. That's why that Rumble was one of the top 10 best matches all of last year. Just because the story and everything they had in that matchup. I view this in that same lens, but not on the same degree. It depends on what WWE does with this. Now, so examining this, I'm looking at the names, the lineups, right? We have the Vision. We have Roman Reigns. We have Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu. We have all these players. We have the ruler. Oba is declared. My guy is declared. Okay? Now, examining this list, right? I got a few potential winners. Don't laugh when I say this first name, okay? LA Knight. Okay?
Like, that's the guy, like, come on. That's the guy I was going to pick, bro. I told you this, like, months ago.
Now, listen. We all know what LA Knight's been through on that main roster. We all know. The failed Money in the Bank matches. We all know. I know everybody's making him a meme. I haven't watched it yet, but I know everybody's making him a meme from the Unreal clip in the back. I know. I've seen it. But LA Knight, he got took out by Division. I didn't even watch the episode, but I've heard about it. Where Bronson Reed, Tsunami Splash, and what was on top of a car or something like that, right? He took him out there. And since LA Knight been on Raw, he's been in the main event scene, been feuding with Division. So he's one of my possibilities to win it. Do I think he's going to win it? No, but I wouldn't rule him out the possibilities. Just because the story can fit. Braun Breaker. They have been telling you since Division has been born that this guy is a future main event WrestleMania. The future WrestleMania main eventer. They've been outright telling you this. And that night he speared the fuck out of Seth Rollins and held that championship. That championship looked right around him. So he lost to CM Punk on January 5th, some shit, Monday Night Raw, the Stranger Things Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, the year of WWE being on
Netflix.
Netflix. Yeah.
He lost clean to CM Punk. And so that right there ruled him in the top 3 in my book as Royal Rumble winners. I don't see nobody from the SmackDown roster winning the Rumble, so we can rule everybody out of there. So Cody, you can throw him in there because he's Cody Rhodes. He's the main guy. But 3 Rumbles in 4 years, I think the fuck not. That'd just be overkill. Please don't do that, WWE. Please. People already starting to boo him. Don't make them boo him even more. So I'm gonna rule out Cody, but you can throw him in there because you never fucking know with this company. I'll put Oba up there, but I don't think he's gonna win the Rumble at all. Just because his presence alone.
He might get the most eliminations, but
he don't need it though. He don't need it. Everybody think Oba needs the most eliminations, but I'm here to tell you he doesn't need it. The only motherfucker he should eliminate is Brock fucking Lesnar. That's it. That's it. That gets him big enough moment there. That gets you a WrestleMania match here. Brock versus Oba at WrestleMania. That's where we need to go. That's the direction. I don't need Oba going out there eliminating 16 people. I don't need that. We don't need that.
What about Gunther versus Brock? Because that's another one that people have been talking about.
I think my train has departed that station 2.5 years ago. We should have had that match 2 years ago before the Trouble. I mean, I'll be cool with watching it, but I don't want to see it on no WrestleMania. I'm cool. I don't want to see that. We need to start building up the new phase of the generation. So I think Oba should eliminate Brock at the Rumble, and that gets your match right there. Brock comes back in the ring, he eliminates Oba to the fans booing, and they do some shit where the security geeks got to separate them on the outside, and you build to Mania for them too.
Did you say the security geeks?
That's what they are, security geeks.
The security fam.
But there's one name we omitting, and we cannot do that because he don't have no third plan, and he just might win this fucking thing. This man has been disappearing and returning all year. Disappear for a couple months, return. Disappear for a couple weeks, return. For a couple days, return. And that man is the tribal chief himself, Roman Reigns. That's the man I'm going to take to win the Royal Rumble. Roman ain't won the Royal Rumble in he ain't won the Royal Rumble in 10 years. And I know a lot of people will be like, we going back to the well again, but let's check the lenses for a minute. Since Roman has been dethroned as champ, Cody's run, not that monumental. His first run, not that monumental. Second run wasn't that great as well. That just because WWE didn't have no challengers for him. Do I want to see Roman as champion again? Nah, we already had it. We've been there 4 years. We don't need it. But him versus CM Punk is just an alluring match at WrestleMania for the World Championship. Now, that's why I say it's a lot of possibilities here, man. Like, this Rumble match, they can go a myriad of ways with this matchup in terms of storytelling. There's the surprise of, will Seth Rollins be there? I know he said he won't be there, but will Seth Rollins be there to cause Braun Breaker to match up? Since the Vision's main goal in this matchup, they've stated it, is to make sure Braun Breaker wins the Royal Rumble and be the world champ. Now, I can see a bunch of ways, man. Seth Rollins is a key here because he can be back by WrestleMania. So if Braun do win, he can usher himself in that matchup, and we can get a triple threat. So it all hinges on what WWE gonna do. This is the intriguing part of the Royal Rumble for me. The storytelling, the storylines, where we going. But all that to say, those scenarios are leaving out Roman Reigns. And you ain't leaving out the tribal chief out of no WrestleMania match. I don't give a fuck what no one say. So I'm a therefore.
What if we got Roman Reigns and Seth against the Vision at WrestleMania?
I mean, that's a possibility.
As
but
much as they despise each other, I don't think it'll happen. I mean, they could always go the route of Seth versus Roman, but I kind of think the time for that is kind of already past, maybe.
Okay, if they do that, where do they leave? Where do they leave CM Punk?
Um,
He the fucking champ.
hell, hell. If AJ wins, you could go the route of building AJ versus Punk for the title.
I wouldn't
You could
mind it.
do that. That's a WrestleMania match.
I
It
wouldn't
just
mind
needs
it.
to be a clean win.
I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, there's a match right there. There's nothing stopping Braun Breaker from getting into that. It's like you said, the possibilities.
That's what
The
make the
possibilities
that's
are
what
endless.
that's what make the Rumble intriguing. But I'm probably doing more thinking than
Oh,
WWE is in the back. So let me stop thinking so damn hard. I'm taking Roman. Let's get some surprises out of the way. I'm pretty sure that these surprises are on your list as well. The big surprise, Chris Jericho, Y2J. Now, do he make the trip all the way over to Riyadh to return in the Royal Rumble? I think why not? I mean, he already been over there for the greatest Royal Rumble, right? Why not? Get that big pop. You ain't seen Chris Jericho on TV since April last year, and it's been rumored he's coming to WWE. Period. Point blank. We know that. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see him. I hear a lot of people throwing Powerhouse Hobbs there. I can see it, I guess. I can. Just to get that pop at the Rumble because people would know who he is. But I don't know, man. That one I don't know.
I kind of think he's better off not making a surprise appearance because you need to get him on TV first as his new character name first. I think getting him on NXT TV first would probably be better. That's just the way I look at it.
I would agree.
Jericho, I would probably save Jericho maybe for Raw after Mania.
Yeah, I would think that too, just because you have so much going on, so many returns. Because it's gonna be a lot. It's
Yeah,
gonna be a lot of people. Chad Gable, he's gonna return. LA Knight, he's gonna
yeah.
return. There's someone else out there who's hurt, but he should return. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of returns, man. A lot of shit gonna happen on this in this Royal Rumble match. Triple H even
I
flat
mean,
out said
yeah,
it was. So I wouldn't be surprised
and
if
I
he
mean
overkill.
Seth Seth being like the biggest return to come yet. So him. Um.
We'll see. Who you
So
got?
yeah, but yeah,
Go ahead. I'll let you drop. Go ahead.
um. In terms of the Royal Rumble, I know I talked to you about this a few weeks ago. I said you need to have LA Knight win because again, there's only so many times where you can put this man in a spot where he's going to win and then you pull the rug from underneath him. Um and the fans are only going to be behind him for so long before they eventually stop cheering for him. Um I mean, as much as I would like to see LA Knight win, because again, a lot of your main eventers, they're either in their late 30s or they're in their 40s. And again, other than Bronson, Logan Paul, Oba, Javon Evans, you have some young talent on the roster, but you guys got to start building them because the veterans that you have that are up there in age, you don't know how long you don't know how long they have left before they go to a part-time contract or they stop. So, you know, as much as we love AJ, as much as we love Randy, as much as we love Cody, we don't know how long these guys are gonna be resting. Because I think isn't Gunther like in his late 30s? I know he's up there in age, but I know he's not that old. But like I said, you don't know how long these guys are gonna be wrestling. So you really gotta start pushing the young talent, man. You really have to. And you really got to start pushing young talent. I'm not saying they have to win the Royal Rumble, but they need to make at least some sort of an impact. I mean, they don't have to be in like the top 4, top 5, top 6 of the Rumble. I mean, maybe you have Oba maybe in the final 6 just to showcase him some more, his power and his strength. But like I said, you guys got to get the ball rolling on the young talent, man. You guys really do. I mean, there's only so many matches you can have young talent go up against like a Randy Orton or an AJ Styles or a Cody Rhodes, but and like and again, guys like Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, and Sami Zayn, those guys definitely need to win that big title before they're gone because especially Sammy. I feel like Sammy has gotten the shaft so many times. Like, he was an NXT champion, but man, he needs to win one of the big belts on the main roster because I feel like again, he's always so close, but they always have something else. But that's another topic for another day. Um, in terms of winning, I mean, obviously Punk being the world heavyweight champion, Drew being uh undisputed champion, and like I said before, I think at Mania you're gonna end up doing Drew versus Jacob versus Cody for the title. Um, and again with Punk, that world heavyweight championship is the hottest fucking belt right now. And this is no offense to Drew McIntyre, but Punk has the hottest belt around his waist right now. So I definitely do think a Raw superstar will win. I mean, if you want to consider Roman on Raw, I guess you can. But uh, I am gonna pick Roman to win it. Um, if Roman doesn't win, it'll be interesting to see who WWE surprises us with because again, we no one expected Jey Uso to fucking win. That caught a lot of people by surprise. So we know if Roman don't win, we are gonna have a hell of a surprise for the men's Royal Rumble. But I mean, like I said, I would love to see LA Knight win. I think it's time to put a title on that man, even if it's not the undisputed championship. Um, yeah, I would love to see LA Knight win, but I'm gonna pick Roman. If Braun Breaker somehow also, eh, you know, not to be this guy, but Logan Paul, he is a sneaky son of a bitch. So I do expect him to maybe attempt to eliminate someone in the Vision. I expect him to attempt it, but like I said, I can see if Braun wins it, I wouldn't be mad. I could see Braun potentially winning it. Like I said, Roman, Cody, Jacob, Oba, Braun. I can see those guys being like top 5, like the last 5 in the Royal Rumble, unless WWE goes a completely different way. But my pick is gonna be Roman for the men's Royal Rumble. That's my pick.
Okay. Okay. You know what, man? I'm gonna go ahead and go against the grain. I'm gonna switch my pick. Cause just the more the time I think about it, I hate doing this. But the more I think about it, Seth Rollins don't play a part in something. Somewhere down the line.
He has to.
And
He has to.
And that's gonna have to do something with the Vision. But my part of okay, that's one part. I don't mind that. The part I mind is Roman Reigns against the Vision because we've been doing it all year, and I just don't want to see him involved with the Vision anymore. We've seen it at War Games, we've seen it at SummerSlam, we've seen it at Clash of Paris. We've seen it all year since after WrestleMania. So I just don't want to see him involved with the Vision again. But I'll probably have to go LA Knight just for the win, just because it'd be something different. We haven't seen it. But my only problem with the LA Knight winning the Royal Rumble is that he ain't on that same catapult level as a Roman Reigns or a CM Punk. And I don't see him main eventing a WrestleMania. Not right now at this moment. I just don't see it. I see him finishing his issue with division, whether it's Bronson Reed, whether you want to throw him and Seth Rollins in the tag team against Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker or whoever division may have representing him. I just don't see him in that main event spotlight. That's my only reason I don't want to fully commit to him.
I kind of think with LA Knight though, if he is gonna win the Rumble, his one-on-one match would have to turn into a triple threat match or a fatal four-way match because you have to have some big name players in there. And I said this to you a few weeks ago when I told you LA Knight should win the Rumble. I said if LA Knight wins, you have to do him versus Punk versus Roman versus Braun. Because I think that's the only way that main event match would be big enough. And that's not saying LA Knight shouldn't main event. I just don't think there would be enough build up to it. I mean, obviously Punk and LA Knight have their history from the Fatal 4-Way match they had a few months ago when Seth was still the champion and Becky came in there to help Seth retain it. So you can say that so you can say that's there. Also, LA Knight did have a little feud going on with Jey Uso before he got injured because Jey did super kick him too on Monday Night Raw. I don't know if you remember that. So there's many things you can do with LA Knight. I just think with LA Knight, it's not really about him main eventing. It's more about him finally getting his time to shine. Because other than the championship match he had against Roman when Roman was the champion, I think at Night of Champions in Saudi, I don't really think he's had a championship match other than that Fatal 4-Way match when it was him, Rollins, Punk, and Jey, if I'm thinking of the right four. But that's really kind of it for LA Knight because again, you look at him, you look at Drew, you look at Sammy. There have been so many guys that have been put into continuous matches for championships or Money in the Bank, and they're so close, but they always get the rug swept from underneath them. And we are kind of in a time where there's only so long the fans are gonna stay behind you before they start booing you or not caring about you anymore. Because that's what we're starting to see with Cody. Cody is starting to get booed, but Cody is supposed to get a heel turn at some point anyway. So it's like, how long do you really want to keep pulling the rug from under LA Knight? I mean, you guys did that to Karrion Kross multiple times where, he left and he should have been bigger than what he was, but WWE didn't use him. But I think, again, if you don't want to lose a guy like LA Knight that's so over, I think you got to give him something. If you don't give him the Rumble this year, you have to give him the Money in the Bank contract this year. Because again, there's only so much time LA Knight has before the fans are not behind him or to where he gets so frustrated, he's gone. I mean, you can't please everybody, but when you get the type of reception that he does when he comes out, I mean, come on, man. It's his time. 2026, again, if not the Rumble, give him the damn Money in the Bank briefcase, man.
And all right, man. Look, going on too long. I'm gonna change my pick. I'm gonna go Roman, just because I don't see him not being in the main event, and I don't want him to be involved with the division. Him versus Punk got the better story and is the most star-studded match. So you have to go. I think they go 1-on-1. I don't think they have multiple mans and for both world championships. It just don't happen. So I'm gonna stick for Raw.
Okay. Here's my final set. If AJ wins, if Roman doesn't win, you do AJ versus Punk at Mania. If Roman wins and you do Roman versus Punk at Mania, in some form or fashion, the Vision will probably get involved, and I think Seth will get involved. I know WrestleMania, they're not big on interferences, but those are the only two scenarios that I can really see.
All right. We'll see. We have probably roughly 8+ hours and counting, so we'll see.
One thing I do want to say is that I think we forgot a certain somebody for the Women's Royal Rumble. I don't know if she's going to be in it, but...
Who, Tiffany Stratton?
Well,
she'll be in it.
Tiffany might be in it. She might be in it, but I'm going to say, other than Saraya being a surprise entrant, there's also Miss AJ Lee.
That ain't really no surprise. She'd be in it because her and Becky about to have a match at Mania. That's not a surprise. We know that.
I mean, how do you forget to mention the Second City Saints wife, AJ Lee?
Easy, because she ain't been on TV since WrestlePalooza. Well, since War Games. Easy. Easy. I mean, she'll be in the Rumble. She's going to go on there. She's going to eliminate. She's going to help match team probably eliminate Becky, and then her and Becky fight for the Intercontinental Championship. We all know. We know that. We already know where that's heading. You know that. Come on.
Listen. AJ, I'm sorry we forgot about you. You should have been mentioned when we talked about the Women's Royal Rumble.
All right, man. That'll do it, man. 8+ hours from now will be the Royal Rumble in Riyadh. We'll see where WWE goes. A lot of storylines they can go. A lot of matches out of WrestleMania is going to form from this matchup if done a correct way. Will this be on the same par as last year's men's Royal Rumble match? No, I don't think so, because that had the factor of John Cena's retirement tour. But they can reach that peak if they build the storylines correctly. So I'm intrigued. I will be watching the men's Royal Rumble matches for storyline purposes, period. Because I'm interested to see where the fuck they go. I'm intrigued. So.
And again, I unfortunately will not be watching the Royal Rumble because I refuse to pay for a $30 fucking ESPN app to watch wrestling. They need to just put that shit back on Peacock. That's my sense.
All right, we'll talk about that off the air. All right, man. Shout out to Drew CK for jumping in his predictions with me. We'll try to do more in the future. Anything you want to plug out before we go?
Also, guys, do not forget to check out me and DJ's reaction channel, CK and DJ Reacts. We have a ton of, well, we don't have a ton of videos, but we do have quite a few, well, we have several reaction videos up there. So make sure you go and check out that channel as well. I know we've mainly been reacting to a lot of the Tubi movies, but we will try to get some wrestling content up there at some point.
Okay. All right, man. That'll do it, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get this video uploaded and take mine to sleep for a little amount of sleep I can get. So, peace out, man. And y'all enjoy the Rumble.